Okay, just we are creating a new project for parameterization techniques. Create new project. Create a web project. Click on next. And this is the parameterization, right? RESTful. REST parameterization. Click on next. Finish it off. Okay. Then you go to source package, right click and RESTful web service from the pattern, right? RESTful web service from the pattern, I'll take it to, okay, and edu dot, give the name edu dot ETU. Finish it off. Okay, where is it? Okay, you change this application path, make it very short, WP, Control S, and come to generic sources. There are some errors are there. So you can clean all these things. Nothing is required. Path. Public, generic, public, and remove all these things. Nothing is required. We will see everything. Empty class only. It is just a simple class annotated by annotation path, and its value is G. Make it very simple, right? If this is the lengthy string you have to enter in the URL, so it's going to be lengthy things, error prone, right? So that's why we are making. Now we are writing a simple method, public. Return type is a string, and get to M1, get message 1, ME message, get message, and here we are sending a message. Let us assuming that to string S1, string M1, and this string M1 value should be the value that enter from the path. The value of the M1 should be taken from the value that you entered from the URL, from the client side. So that's why we are using a string parameter. We will see this is nothing but a read operation, get, and then get produces is nothing but a return type. Set produces, what is that produces? Media type dot, what kind of media type you want? We want a media type of, let us take plain text. This is the plain text. It is taking the data as a path parameter, right? So we are using it to path, Here we are passing the path parameter. Here we are passing the path parameter. After G, I want to use pp slash, okay, maybe you can enter student. And after that, I want to enter path parameter is SID. So path parameter always in the, what is this, curly brackets. After that, I want to enter the grade. This is the URL. And whatever is the student ID that you enter should be assigned to M1. Whatever is the student ID, SID, that should be assigned to variable M1. If that is the case, here we can use at path param, path param, and here we have to enter this value, SID. Here we have to enter this SID. So let us see, is there any errors? And we are going to return the whatever value that you read, we are returning it. Return type is string, right? Return enter student entered, received student ID. SID. Okay. And here we are entering what is the value? SID is nothing but a M1, right? M1. Here we can enter the grade. Okay, you can write practically, you can come to retrieve the data from the database and we can decide. But there is a warning message, just you import path param. Now you will see. Is it clear? Is it making sense to you? It is very simple. Here, this is the path. We don't want to access this web operation by using your class level annotation. We want to use, you want to access this operation by using your operation level annotation, path annotation. That's why we declared path. We annotated, we decorated this method with path annotation, and student SID is the path parameter, and then grade. This is the, so let us, what is the URL? What is the URL to access this method? URL is equal to HTTP localhost. Okay, let us assuming that all the port number and all those things. Next one is your project name, correct? Next one is your application path. Whatever is the parameter of the application path, that value, application path. What is the application path parameter value? WP. WP, and then class level annotation path parameter value. And what is the class level path annotation value? G. Next one is your operation level student slash, it can be anything, ID can be anything, and next grade we have to give grade, correct? This is the URL, right? But this part will vary. We will see how it is going to be. So we can compile it, clean build, and then deploy. Okay, it's deployed. Go to services, right click, view admin console. Okay, it is opening Chrome browser, Safari browser, but we are good with Chrome, right? Go to the Chrome and go to applications. Go to, what is our project name? REST parameterization. This is our, right? And go to launch. And this is what our URL. But this is the landing page, index.html. That is not important for us, right? Okay. This is the landing page, that is not important. Here we have to enter. We have to enter our application config. What is the application config? That is WP, right? Slash your class level annotation. What is the class level annotation? That is G. And then we have to enter the operation level, your method level path to value. That is a student, right? Case sensitive and the student slash, we can enter anything, X. Next one is, this is a student parameter, and then grade, grade, right? This is our URL, correct? Anybody has any doubt about forming this URL? It is simple, right? Now, what is the value of the student ID? You can enter. Maybe you can enter 123 is the student ID. Then these 123 should be accessed by your RESTful web service, and it should return this message: received student ID 123 and grade is A plus. Right? If this operation is capable of reading this value. So what is that? Are you getting or not? Your student ID is 123 and grade is A plus, and you enter student ID is 100, and whatever you are entering, it is coming, right? Student ID is 100, and you can make it here some space so that it can be clear. Clean build and then deploy. And then come to here. Come to here. Student ID is 100. So whatever value you enter, maybe even you can enter Babu. Babu, it is taking Babu, right? Right? You can enter anything, any. Right? So last class we discussed, in the last session we discussed the 10th student, 15th record, 10th student, 10th record, 10th student, 10th record. If we want to get, we will use this query parameter, right? Where student ID is a variable and record of particular student is also variable, right? Like that we can make it. Is it clear? Yes or no? And we will make here only one parameter is there. We can keep n number of the parameters also. We can keep n number of the parameters. Let us see. I want to keep one more parameter. Grade in grade slash. Maybe this is the year. Here you can enter another parameter, that is year. Year. So I want to pass this year also. Here you can enter one more at path param. What is our path param? Year. Here. Here you can write it string y. String y. And here we can take grade in year is nothing but a y, right? We can keep some space. Okay, A plus grade in y, something like. Okay. Is it clear? We are using two parameters. What is the URL now? URL is after the grade. We'll see whether it is working or not. Clean build. Okay, there is an error. Okay, here. Clean build. Deploy. Come to browser. Now if you try, I think you are not 404. 404 is nothing but with this URL, there is no resource on the server. Nothing is because this URL is not right. The URL is after the grade, we have to give one more parameter that is nothing but a 1 or second year or third year like that. Now you are getting, right? So here two path parameters are there, right? Correct? Yes or no? Are you able to follow? Anything is difficult here? Of course, it is very difficult initially. If you practice it, it has become very easy. Initially, it is not only for VLR with same capability. What differentiates? Only our practice and focus differentiates. That's all. All are with 24 hours, all are with 2 hands, 2 legs, and same structure, same design, same brain structure, everything. But what it difference? It difference our interests, our focus, our practice, right? So here also same thing. So that's what. So this is what about the path parameter. I don't have time to discuss, spend a lot of time on path parameter. There are a lot of things are there, a lot of magics you can do using the path parameter. You have to explore it. Next one is the query parameter. Do you have any question about the path parameter? Yes or no? Okay, if there are no question, then we will look into the query parameter. Query parameter also same. Let us write a small function, public. Return type is string. Return type is string. Get message. Get message 2. Here we are writing string m2, and this m2 value you should get from the by using the query parameter technique. That's what our interest. So here we are returning return query param. This is query param m2. Oh, error is there. Return. Okay, m2. Okay, received m2. Semicolon, yes. Okay, still error. What is the error? Okay. Control S. Okay. Now we annotate this one. This is the query parameter. We want to take it as a query parameter. The value of M2 should be using the query parameter technique. That's why we are QUERY query. Here. What is the query parameter value? You can give query parameter value is name of that key of that query parameter is QP or name, and this is the query parameter. You can import it, right click, import query parameter, and here it is a get operation, and then media type is plain text only, produces plain text, right? And then what is its path? Path is equal to path of, you can give any path, QP, query parameter QP. Okay, let us, what is the URL? What is the URL? This URL is same, right? Up to G it is common. Up to G it is common. After G we have to use the QP and then question mark. And then question mark, name is equal to name is equal to Amari. We'll give Amari. So now this should return Amari, right? We'll see. Clean build, deploy, go to this one. Here you go to G, and after G we have to use QP question mark, name is equal to Amari. Correct? What you are expecting? Return type is whatever you enter here, Amari, right? And Berhanu That means whatever value that you are passing is received by your web service and then it is returning, right? Suppose if you have more than one key value pair, the query parameter, all these things should be separated by ampersand. Ampersand is required. Ampersand. So let us see here. 1 minute. Okay, here we want to pass two query parameters. So here we are passing two query parameters, comma, query parameter name and grade, grade G1.